What's up, everyone? I'm Rebecca Eugene. Welcome to BossFM Now, where you can always count on us to give you the latest and the greatest in politics, pop culture, and anything that's happening in the streets. We do it for the culture.
That's right, Rebecca. And because we know that you have your phone in hand, we need you to go ahead and download that Boss FM app from your app store and follow us at Boss FM Radio on all social media platforms so that you can stay connected.
Today, we've got a new episode of Music Spotlight with David Medina and a debate surrounding the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Let's get into it. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla said people will likely need a third dose of the COVID-19 vaccine within 12 months of getting fully vaccinated. He told CNBC's Bertha Combs during an event with CVS Health, a likely scenario is that there will likely be a need for a third dose, somewhere between 6 to 12 months. And then from there will be an annual revaccination. But all of these need to be confirmed. And again, the variants will play a key role. The comments come after Johnson & Johnson CEO Alex Gorsky told CNBC in February that people will need to get vaccinated against COVID-19 annually, just like the seasonal flu shots.
I'd say there is a lot of requirements coming along with this COVID vaccine.
Definitely.
And on to our next story. Let's dive into some music spotlight with David Medina.
What's up, guys? This is David Medina with BossFM Now. You guys are now tuned in to the music segment, where I give you the latest in music news. Young Thug and the Young Stoner Life Collective have finally unleashed Slime Language 2. The album includes the previously released tracks featuring Meek Mill with Sheck West, as well as guest appearances by Travis Scott, Drake, Lil Uzi Vert, Big Sean, Future, Rowdy Rebel, Coi Leray, Skepta, and others. You can stream the project now on Apple Music and via Spotify. Bay Area native All Black brings it back to the block in the visuals for his new song Ego, featuring Draco the Ruler and Kenny Beats. Both West Coast rappers get into their familiar flows on Ego, while the playful Mikey Rare directed video finds All Black as a chef who is trying to rap to Draco and prove he is talented. The release of this song and video also comes with the announcement of All Black's debut album, Thank You For Effing With Me. Brent Faiyaz' Sonder linked with Georgia Smith on new track, Nobody But You. Backed by minimal percussion and acoustic guitar licks, Nobody But You blends Faiyaz' signature crooning with Georgia's silky vocals as the pair sing about a doomed relationship. To commemorate a stacked decade of independent music discovery, Soulection has gifted Apple Music One listeners with a 9-hour takeover leading up to a new episode of Soulection Radio. Soulection has broadcasted its Timeless Sounds 10-year mix event for free on Apple Music. These celebration mixes were followed by the debut of the 500th episode of Soulection Radio. That's it for the latest in music news. I'm your host, David Medina with BossFM Now. Now back to the guys in the studio.
Clearly, Apple Music is trying to bless me for this month. But moving right along, Mark has our next story.
In Maryland, 16-year-old boy Peyton Ham was shot by a state trooper for wielding a knife and an airsoft gun. On the Tuesday afternoon, Maryland police received 2 calls about a guy acting suspicious and who was thought to be armed with a gun. Police showed up within minutes to the scene and confronted the male in the driveway. Eyewitnesses say that Ham was in a shooting stance towards the officer, and that's when the officer fired and wounded him. Ham then took out a knife and refused to put it away when the trooper ordered him to, and he was shot again, pronounced dead in the hospital. The officer is on administrative leave pending the investigation. And now, here's some further news regarding an ex-Bachelor star, Colton Underwood, who recently came out as gay.
Colton Underwood is revealing his truth, the former Bachelor coming out as gay, 3 years after appearing on The Bachelorette and over 2 years after dating 30 women on the ABC show as The Bachelor. He shared this bombshell news with Robin Roberts.
I've ran from myself for a long time. I've hated myself for a long time, and I'm gay, and I came to terms with that earlier this year and have been processing it.
We turn to our senior correspondent, Alicia Quarles, in New York. Alicia, give us the details.
Well, Thomas, Colton says he got to such a dark place at one point he'd rather die than admit he was gay. He even tried to pray the gay away. Now, last year he was living with his girlfriend, Cassie Randolph, who he met on The Bachelor. They had a tumultuous breakup, and she even filed a restraining order against him in September. She later dropped that restraining order, and he actually apologized on Good Morning America.
I obviously had an internal fight going on. I would just say that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry for any pain and emotional stress I caused.
Now, there's been an outpouring of love towards Colton after the interview aired, with Andy Cohen leading the way, saying you're free now, and joking, a toaster is on its way.
Alicia Quarles, thank you.
I think that this is extremely important because he mentioned he had to hide himself and he had to do what he had to do to try and deal with himself internally. And I feel like, yes, he did an apology to her publicly because he did mention that she filed a restraining order. But I still think that he needs to do an apology privately because a lot of things happen behind closed doors that we didn't know about. But moving right into our discussion tonight, we have a clip detailing the effects of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and the questions is brought up about other medicines like birth control. Let's check it out.
Johnson & Johnson's vaccines were specifically tied to blood clots called cerebral venous sinus thrombosis, which can affect the brain. But blood clots have been tied to other medications and habits. Here's KVUE's Bob Buckaloo.
When liquid blood turns into a gel-like or semi-solid state, it can block blood flow. If it doesn't dissolve on its own, it can become a serious matter. When a blood clot occurs in an artery, it causes symptoms immediately and requires emergency treatment. The symptoms of an arterial clot include severe pain, paralysis of parts of the body, or both. It can lead to a heart attack or stroke. A blood clot that occurs in a vein may build up more slowly over time, but they can still be life-threatening. Certain medications can increase the risk of clots. Some birth control pills and some types of hormone replacement therapy for women are known to produce blood clots. People are more susceptible to blood clots if they are over 65, smoke, are obese, or if they engage in lengthy travel where they sit for more than 4 hours at a time. But it's important to put the Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause in context. The FDA reported 6 cases of blood clots out of 6.8 million doses given. That's a little less than 1 case per million, compared to birth control pills that cause an estimated 500 to 1,200 cases of blood clots per million, and COVID itself, with 165,000 cases of blood clots reported per million cases. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.
I feel like when it's come to the vaccine, there's always been a different discussion that happens every day with it. So it's either this good, but then here's what we need to question. This is good, but at the same time, this is what we need to know. I feel like we've rushed so quick for a solution to this pandemic that we really haven't put that much homework and that much time into really securing a good vaccine for us.
I definitely agree. There's too many complications that come along with this, this COVID vaccine. We pumped it out way too quick. Normally it takes years of research and testing to pump out a good vaccine for any kind of virus. And we managed to do this in less than a year.
And this is a perfect reason as to why a lot of people are hesitant. Example, myself. I am very hesitant when it comes to the vaccine. And I've been very open and very, blunt with my discussion when it comes to the vaccine. And when people tell me, oh, I've gotten the vaccine, it only hurt for a few days. Oh, I understand, you want to do your research. I'm like, I don't need to do research. You are the research.
Exactly. Yeah. You just, you said that was my strategy. I just wanted to, because I wasn't going to rush to go get it. I was going to sit and wait how it affected other people. And now we're getting stories about how there are people getting blood clots and it's on pause. That's big news. This is being shipped worldwide.
Definitely. And we need to remember that a main reason why this vaccine was created too was mainly for our elderly people as well, who were more susceptible to catching COVID-19. And they are more susceptible to getting blood clots. So now when you're hearing this, my grandmother just got the vaccine. Am I supposed to be worried about her now? Am I supposed to take her to the doctor to get completely checked up to make sure that there's nothing wrong with her now?
Exactly. It causes more problem, and it's painfully ironic. the exact demographic that the COVID vaccine is trying to save is now harming them.
Definitely. Definitely.
And with that, we segue into our next story. Rebecca, take it away.
A federal judge gave the green light Thursday to move R. Kelly to New York City to go on trial this summer after several delays. Kelly has been held in Chicago, where he's facing a potential second trial for a separate federal case related to a widespread sex crimes investigation. The trial in Brooklyn federal court has been put off because of the pandemic. But at a virtual hearing, the U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly told lawyers that there are courthouse protections in place that would allow this to finally go forward on August 9th. The federal judge also said that the government should start preparations to move Kelly to New York jail, most likely the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The exact timing is still unclear.
Let's get into our last segment of the night. Here's Tea with Becca.
Welcome to Tea with Becca. Grab your cups, take a sip, because the tea is here for you. And today we're going to talk about Kourtney Kardashian and her boo Travis Barker. Now, Kourtney recently posted on her Instagram a picture of her hand laying on Travis's chest, and on his chest is her name tattooed across it. Now, I didn't think that this meant much because the man is covered in tattoos. My personal opinion with people getting their significant other's names tattooed on them, I feel like once you do that, the relationship is automatically doomed. The relationship never lasts when you do that. I don't think a tattoo represents the type of commitment that's going to happen. And I feel like it automatically jinxes your relationship because a tattoo is permanent. So do you think that the relationship is permanent too? I don't think that a person needs to get my name tattooed on them for them to show me that a real commitment is happening. I think the only names that people should get tattooed on them are their mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, and your children. But your significant other? No. I've heard this one particular phrase a lot when it comes to relationships. If you really love me, tap my name on it. That's one thing in a relationship I do not require. But that's all the tea we have for today. Bye. Mark, would you ever get your significant other's name tattooed on you?
Never. Not even if it was my soulmate. I would never do that to myself.
I like that.
It's a dumb idea.
And we are wrapping up our show with our last story from Mark. Let's hear it.
As a storm whipped up huge waves off Louisiana's coast, a commercial vessel carrying 19 people capsized in the Gulf of Mexico. This has sparked a large rescue mission involving the Coast Guard and a fleet of Good Samaritans willing to help. The vessel was a 129-foot tall lift boat named the Secor Power. Currently, one person has been found dead along the surface of the water, while 6 crewmates have been found and successfully rescued. The Coast Guard is still searching for the whereabouts of the other crew members.
All right, everyone, that's it from BossFM Now. Thank you for always tuning in at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the latest and the greatest.
And if you'd like to rewatch our shows, as always, they will be available for replay on the BossFM app and all of our social media platforms. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. It's Mark Molina.
And Rebecca Eugene.
And have a great night.